floor.
Oh.
I forgot. Cool, man.
Alright, well, convenient.
So I think we just missed a few fights on the next floor and some items, and that's it. Wait, I don't remember if I picked up the items in the locker room.
You did not. Just take them. Be very deliberate about the floors you choose. Yeah, it has the fade out. That was easy.
Remember that was a Black Eyed Peas song? Dirty Bit.
Dirty bit.
Alright. Airbyte max. We good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So, alright. So, we're back at this point. We hit a bug when I tried to go back down and save, even though there turns out there wasn't a need to, because I forgot that I saved on the floor below. And well, I'm guessing this is going to be some kind of optional boss, but let's just see what happens. Intrusion attempt detected.
Warning shot.
1,000 points of damage.
Yeah, okay. Well, technically, Tifa survived. Never mind.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I wanted to get one hit in.
Alright, so clearly this is going to be something we fight on the return trip. Oh, it doesn't even game you over. That's convenient.
Wow, that's really convenient.
You know, it's funny because Tifa surviving almost makes that, like... Well, I'm sure there's no, but it's probably got so much HP, like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter, but... Good job. Good job, Barrett.
Okay, I think we can start morphing.
Loco.
Just confuses an enemy. Worthless.
I mean,
Although, watch it. There's probably some glitch at a particular hard point in the game that you can exploit if you just, you know, trusted seemingly worthless items like Loco Weed more and tried to do
I
something
think
with
there
them.
is an exploit with Ruby Weapon like that. Maybe not with Loco Weed, but with
It's
something.
amazing. All this time, I've only done that once, the super bosses in this game, and that was way back, probably only a full year at most after it first came out.
I've only done it.
So that means in like 25 years I hadn't done it.
You know, in Final Fantasy Remake Part 2, in Tifa's room, she's got some posters that look like they're advertising, like, you know, some scenery of some like getaway place. But
Yeah.
in like the negative space, you see the outlines of Ruby and Emerald Weapon. And it's like, visit Emerald Falls, but you can kind of make out Emerald Weapon in there. And I caught that myself, and I was like, ooh, that's cool. Because, you know, that's teasing that Part 3 will have Ruby and Emerald in it.
Also, it's kind of weird, Emerald Falls. I actually had a dream about that once a long, long time ago. I was probably still a child. Probably very soon after I beat Emerald and Ruby Weapon, but I dreamed that, like, my family and I were vacationing at, like, just this sort of, I don't know, like this clearing with falls all and mountains all around, like it was a camping site of some sort. And I was just casually talking, went off on my own, casually talking with somebody in, like, a shop somewhere selling camp supplies, maybe. I was talking like, yeah, so, you know, what kind of battles have you been doing out in the overworld? What kind of adventures you been on? I was like, Yeah, I actually managed to defeat Emerald Weapon up there. I pointed like towards a cave off in the distance, like behind some falls, very high up, like casually talking about how I alone
Defeated this.
beat a 1 million HP super boss, meaning I was stronger, 3 times stronger than even the strongest individual party member in FF7 that you can get to, basically. So. Yeah, I just remember just casually talking about it, like, like this was an RPG world and people were uber strong, going around defeating all sorts of monsters and stuff all the time. What about you? She, for all I remember, it was like a middle-aged lady. She might have been talking about, oh yeah, I got Ruby Weapon just the other day, which would be even bigger accomplishment. I like how Sid just, it's like such a middle school insult. It's like, hey, well, if it ain't Fat Man Palmer, when Palmer comes into town wanting to
Yeah, but it actually upsets him.
Yeah. I gotta agree with Barrett there. That is really dirty. I think Heidegger and Scarlet are like my least 2 favorite characters in this game. Like out of all the protagonists, playable
they're written
or other,
so you don't like them.
I mean, true. For stuff like, there are certain characters though that I just can't imagine why anybody would like them, even if they were supposed to be like villains and you're supposed to hate them. There are a couple examples where I'm like, it's like they deliberately wrote this character to be just offensively annoying. Like, you can't even just, be annoyed by them ironically, but still be entertained. Which you might say about Heidegger or Scarlet. And one such character, it's the reason I know I give up on games like this all the time over the last several years. I've just gotten to this phase where I cannot finish a game if one big thing super annoys me, even if it's just one thing.
Yeah.
But in Legend of Heroes Trails of the Sky, I got that on Steam. It was like a PSP game in the mid-2000s, I think.
Okay. Back in the aughts.
A character... It was a character like Bandiger, dude. It's somehow worse. And Bandiger is in my top 10 most obnoxious characters ever that I just can't stand. In fact, nowadays, I would probably put him above Zidane.
Ooh.
I used to say Zidane was number 1, but it was just because I just had such a history with him. But if I had to be super honest, no, guys like Bandiger are even worse. So, and there was a character in Trails of the Sky that he wasn't even a playable character. He would just keep coming across the party, and the party themselves could not stand him. And they were showing it, like they were clearly showing visible annoyance. And I'm like, so even the characters are bitching about you, and you still wrote it. Like, what purpose is that? So I mean, if they annoy the characters in that universe, how do they not annoy the player? And there's no purpose to it whatsoever that I can see. So finally, and I think it was a pretty good way through. I'm pretty sure I was at least halfway, if not 2/3. He joins the party. I said, no, I am not dealing with him day in, day out. I'm not going to do it. I quit. It's still there in my Steam library, but I just don't think I can ever pick it back up. I still got the save file there and everything. But his name was Oliver. It was like this, let's say if I were a homosexual or a bisexual, I would be seriously insulted by this character, like thinking that maybe the writers actually had something against my type,
Okay, I think like it's like
I'm trying to empathize with him. Like, if I just know if I were homosexual or bisexual, I would feel like the writers were trying to insult me.
Or insult the entirety of the LGBT plus community.
He was like the biggest creeper towards, I mean, aside from a whole bunch of other things, just basically just boring everybody to death every time he comes and talks to the party about anything. But he looks like offensively flamboyant, not played for laughs or anything, and very, very creepily hit on one of the two protagonists. Like, you play as basically two protagonists. They're pretty much equal. A girl and a boy who were raised together, even though they're not blood siblings. Joshua, that was his name. It was Estelle and Joshua. And they're both, like, 16. Joshua is underage, and Oliver is, like, hitting on him in a very creepy way, like, overtly sexual. Not just like, I think you're cute, I'm attracted to you. No, it was like, I want to get you into,
Dead.
I was like, what? No, just no all around to this guy. He's annoying, he's creepy, he's depraved. And I don't normally talk like this, like super liberal, like where everything, I'm sorry, but one thing is with them, they do tend to get offended easily. But no, if a homosexual or bisexual person complained about this, I would not be able to blame them if they seriously took offense to it.
Genova. Where does Pyro sit in your ranking of annoying characters? Because I remember Pyro's from .hack being a problem. Pyro's...
I don't think he was ever in my top 10.
Okay.
I know one time about 10 years ago, and I think it was right after we played, you tried to show me as much of Tales of Symphonia 2 as you can before we both got annoyed.
Oh, there's a character.
I was like,
that's...
so he was like, so you were like, yeah, so you now know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Not that I ever doubted you, but I still had to see it. I had to see it.
Oh, you didn't even see the good stuff, man. We did not get far enough into the game to get to the good stuff.
Emil, right?
Emil, yeah.
I was like, yeah, he would definitely be my top 10. So then I actually made a list, and I don't think Pyros was on there.
Yeah. Emil is such a terrible character. It's like they somehow found a magical formula to make him both, because he's got, like, DID, right? He's got a split personality, and one personality is a complete asshole, and the other is, like, so pitifully annoying. It's like in one character you wrapped up like so many like opposing hateable aspects.
Yeah, you managed to make him like hateable in both opposite ways, like to the extreme.
I mean, that's impressive.
It is kinda. I mean, when you think about it, not in a good way, but nevertheless
impressive.
So what I remember, I was like, yeah, Zidane's definitely number one. Nah, I gotta retract that a little bit. He's still top 10, but not, I think number one is really pushing it. It might be Oliver. I know Bandiger was in there, Rita.
It definitely says something that the second he joined your party, you immediately just stopped playing the entire game.
Because I couldn't stand him just coming around as an NPC every now and then. But it was pretty frequent. For somebody that's not in the party, he showed up a lot. Crap, I forgot to put on Restore All, whatever.
Yep. And I forgot to remind you.
Well, I forgot that the scene starts as soon as you get up in here. So yeah, Bandiger was on there. Oliver wasn't at the time because I didn't play it till a few years after that. Zidane, Rita. It's weird how offhand I don't remember anybody else. But
well, maybe it's good that you don't remember your list of all the characters that make you angry.
Yeah, man, maybe.
That's a great. Like, honestly, stop thinking about it. Don't remember.
Oh, I skipped over the part we were talking. I skipped over the part where Hojo's like, "Are you going to kill me? I don't think you should." But honestly, he'd be more than a match for you right now, right? If he's anywhere near as strong as he was when you actually fight him towards the end of the game, he would totally kick your ass.
Cloud 5 spaces help.
Stop. Let's see. I forgot about this.
Yeah, it's a real...
I know, like, for the longest time, I was like, what's Red talking about? Like, why'd he apologize? What act? I just didn't catch on that he was making, like,
the reason why they're in this
Yeah,
container together.
I just wasn't putting it together, even though Hojo basically says it. Did he shoot Eris by accident? I like how Red just comes out here and... I think when Dad first saw this, he was like, is he eating that guy? Like, oh my gosh, you got a, animal graphically tearing a guy's throat out. I was like, nah, he's just holding him down. Because you can see Hojo's hands are up.
Yeah. He is protecting his neck.
You can't even see him. How do you know, Red?
Well, I mean, they just didn't have a model for... They didn't have like a chibi model for it. Choices.
It'd be great if I could tell Red to get lost, because I got material on everybody else right now.
You know what? Don't like that portrait.
I don't know. I just like Red.
No, Red's awesome. I love Nanaki.
Well, I mean, like, the name, just as Red, not Red 13.
Oh.
How do I,
Start?
Pressing it.
So...
Oh.
What? Alright. As battle progresses, Red will steadily gain strength and magic up. So he just gets stronger as the fight goes on.
Cool. This said maximum of plus 45, though. No, I don't remember this attack. Must be new. Oh.
That's just defense up for him and his allies, I assume.
Well, it looked like a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it did.
Red did not seem to like that very much. Oh, and he had enemy skill on, so cool.
Oh, that was him learning the skill? Oh, okay, cool. Did he come with enemy material originally?
Yeah, I think so.
That's cool that he can get one just from the fight immediately. Do not... I think maybe you have to get rid of the ads first.
I don't know why I couldn't remember whether I had to take them out or not, because I was worried for a moment, do they, like, just counterattack and you can never really defeat them?
I don't think there were ads in the original, were there?
They were there graphically, but I think it was all one target. Anyway, like, yeah, I think that's what it was.
Oh, achievement for using...
Again, it's a way bigger achievement to not use it.
Somehow make it through the entire game without... Yeah,
yeah, I want to say that for whatchamadoodle. Couldn't say his name.
Well, I mean, I don't know it.
Yeah, we all know he's gonna revive him here in a minute, so we better
okay, there's a oh, defense weakens. So
well, let's see what we can do now.
Oh, okay, so it looks like maybe every time he re-summons the ads, he gets weaker. And they seem to come back with less HP.
Gingana.
Yeah, okay. And they only have 107 HP now. Silver glasses. Oh yeah. Yeah. This is starting to go a lot better.
No, since he hasn't tried poisoning in a while, it might actually be worth it to
get rid.
Yeah. I should have spent that round curing instead of trying to attack him. This is gonna counter with.
Interesting. No, they're coming back with the same amount of HP, but its defense is still weakening. Okay, good. That's damage.
I don't have Barrett's sense materia, so I.
Yeah, we don't know how long we have to keep like. Crit. Crit.
Mini-Me, quit humping the laser.
Ooh, that's a big one.
Yeah.
That should,
How much did that do? I didn't see it.
400, I think.
Not bad.
This should do a lot because it's. Oh.
Yeah, she automatically targeted.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a
That's
waste.
That's unfortunate.
That's a good fight. I like this.
Cloying breath.
I have a feeling that was supposed to do a big stat.
When do you get hit guard? Like, that's from a random encounter, right?
Yeah, it was outside Coast of the Mill Soul, I think.
Okay. Because I feel like, of all times, that's probably going to be a pretty big grab. Like, it's going to be important to have.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Oh, crit. Juicy crits. Nice.
69. Okay, it seems like his... I don't know. Defense doesn't seem to be weakening that much anymore. Maybe it's about...
Maybe that's...
Maybe it'll say it, but it's actually
hit some kind of cap, yeah.
So maybe what we need to do is just try to save all the limit breaks for... Well, no, because I can still hit him anyway. I can still target him even with those
Yeah, I was
guys.
about to say you could kill 2, leave 1.
Have I stolen from him yet? No.
Yeah, you stole, you stole glasses from him.
I meant no as in, like... I've already... He has nothing.
Okay.
Wouldn't it be great if you were accruing just a little bit of experience every time you kill one of those?
Oh, yeah, that'd be great. You should. I mean, you killed it. It's experience.
Like, however, just a little bit. It's just one swing of your sword extra with each, but nevertheless, it is training technically.
Oh, that's almost
Okay,
500.
I just need to.
Nice.
No, okay. I was like, I just need to do that the rest of the
Okay,
time.
cool mechanic. I mean, it drew the fight out a little bit, but I mean, it's still interesting.
Got seemingly good experience too. Wow, I forgot how friggin' rude you come off right off the bat, Red. Hello, everybody did? One just Cloud?
It's just like in Demon Slayer when everybody was like, "Yay,
Yeah,
Tanjiro!
really.
You did it!"
And I said, okay, Genya, Mitsuri, there was like 2 other guys.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding.
Okay, now
Access the menu.
you know another.
Ooh, wow, comes with a lot of stuff.
Wow, some good stuff too.
Gravity right
Wait,
off
what
the
was
bat.
that? Elemental. Interesting. Honestly, you should probably put that on.
Fire for Motor Ball.
Yeah.
That'll be friggin' fantastic, actually.
So see how on the menu it has the buttons for an Xbox controller. That was a mod because in the original it's just says menu cancel and OK.
Oh.
Which tells you nothing. I mean, I guess in the context of your controller. Sorry.
Ding, 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 ding.
Also, Red is just cool to have like a dog character. That's since everybody else is just humanoid.
All right, let's get materia off of you.
yeah, Sense is going to be
Excuse me.
good to keep around.
And back to red.
Red.
Actually, I think I'm gonna take Harrison red. No, let's get Tifa off first. That was not intentional.
This is one of the times that
I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that I'm too good for VG girls, and Tifa is one of my favorites, but I did not mean that.
This is why I feel like, it's sad we don't have a webcam sometimes, because that odd pause and then us both looking at each other. We're like,
Okay, so Bronze Bangle has really good defense and quite a bit. Oh yeah, I forgot. They kind of have it backwards.
Yeah,
Like
for this
Mithril
one.
was the worst, then Iron, then Bronze, or something like that. Instead of
hey man, 30 dex blocks Blind and Berserk.
ooh, that's. Nice.
I mean, having your healer caster not be berserked is probably going to be beneficial.
So Carbon Bangle has an extra slot, but just one, as opposed to a lot less defense. So
I mean, that's an extra slot you could be working towards mastering something.
Still, I don't like the drop in defense, so I'm not doing it.
All right, did you want to go ahead and put restore on all?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Where's restore? Oh, I have it. Cloud had it, not. Okay, so let's. So many choices here. See, this is what I liked about FF7 when I'm redistributing materia.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know. It's just cool. I never felt like it was kind of like with Gambits. I know a lot of people are annoyed with that, but I thought it had just the right. It gave you just right amount of time to work with it. You neither had to could completely ignore it and do just fine, making it useless, and I just didn't feel like it took up too much of my time. To where I had to like seriously micromanage in order to get along in the game. So,
I mean, depending on the system, that's the entire point, right? Like, it might be time consuming, but like you feel good when you're putting stuff together. Like, I think another great example of this is Gambits in Final Fantasy XII. Like, it takes a long time, especially when you have like hundreds of Gambits and conditions and stuff, to like really focus on how you want to build up a character, but like doing so feels really good. You get that like little dopamine hit when you're done, like, yes, I can't wait to get this character out in the field and see how this works,
yeah.
Also, only benefits from that. Nice. Cosmo Clip.
Yeah, I like how equipment materia actually raises your HP. Usually it took it down. Even with the big summons, I still equipped them anyway in the original game, even though they would go as far as like minus 10%.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there are some in there that definitely reduce. Like, there you go, minus magic. But whatever. And max MP. that does kind of suck.
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, your magic and max MP goes down.
Well, still, I like the added effect.
So there was a mod that we decided against that was interesting, and that was that all the equipment is rebalanced to potentially have 3 linked slots. But I think we ultimately decided against that because that sounds like in a mod where you're playing specifically for it to be harder, it would be too much of a benefit. So.
Yeah.
But I do think it's interesting, like, right now we're debating, like, should we heap all with restore or all with, like, an elemental spell to... You could just put, an element and restore junction together with all and not have to worry about it. Or all and elemental with, like, fire or something. Which I think at least lends itself to, like, the feel good of...
Yeah.
Putting stuff together. Letting your brain give you the good chemicals.
Dopamine.
A little bit of that dopamine.
Oh yeah, there's still these things.
A little bit of that
serotonin.
Uh-oh. I think I'm having an acid reflux attack here.
Do you need Tums? I've got Tums.
Please do,
Yeah, sure.
actually.
You want? I've got 1,000 milligrams. You want 1 or 2?
2.
Got it.
Wow, that was quite a powerful laser, even for this mod. Thank you.
Yeah.
Interestingly, we don't have Quake yet. Okay, maybe the laser takes off a certain percentage, so if you have high HP, it's going to look like a lot.
Whoa, it's wobbly.
Haha! Let's try morphing it. Dang, dude, die.
Oh yeah, the heal staff.
Oh, really? I have 4 HP left. Okay, so I don't think I ever figured out what Reb was doing in his victory dance before either. He was like licking a paw and grooming himself. That's cool. You know, that would be really crappy if we just killed that helpless Shinra employee just, you know, for being there. Something Velvet would do. That's right. Taking a moment to diss Velvet from Tales of Berseria. Because I don't like her. Bit preoccupied there, bro?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I don't mean to just mess on my phone, but we're getting.
Because I was like, I'm doing unforgivable quotes
Yeah.
over here, and you ain't laughing. I mean, what the deuce?
No, I've got. We're getting quotes to get work done on the roof, and I'm talking to.
That's cool. Actually, they've been working on my roof for like the last 3 weeks of my apartments. It's been quite loud. Especially being on the 2nd floor.
Yep.
Oh, didn't I tell you a few weeks ago? It was like right after I came back from my trip. They knocked out the power in just my place because I was like, did they cut through a wire or something up there? And sure enough, that's what happened. I was lucky I was only out of power for about a day.
That still sucks.
Yeah.
Like, that's still no bueno.
And you're in the southern heat. I mean, it was only like maybe 80 degrees at the time, but that was enough to get my apartment 80 degrees, and you know I ain't having it.
Yeah, I know that you have lava flowing through your veins as
Yes.
is.
Some people are like, dude, why you want to move north? Be it like a frozen wasteland, even in the summer up there. What the heck? What do you think I'm looking forward to?
Oh, I hate being cold though. Like, you hate being hot, I hate being cold. I don't like being cold at all.
Okay, now don't get me wrong. If we're talking about like freezing or maybe 40 degrees,
No,
I don't like it either. It's just I'd
Right.
I'd much rather have that extreme than
All right,
100.
let's rephrasing this. Let's say that you had to deal with, like, if you had to choose with being like an equally uncomfortable amount of cold versus an equally uncomfortable amount of heat, I would rather deal with the heat than the cold.
Okay.
If that makes any sense.
Okay, what if we're not necessarily talking equal? Like, because I don't know what your comfort level is.
Right,
So
well, it's
it
gonna
might
differ
be
from person to
different
person, yeah.
different temperatures. So what if we're talking 100 degrees heat versus 45 degrees cold? That's still well above freezing point.
Like outside, or like I'm assuming we're not dealing with that kind of temperatures in your house.
Yeah, inside.
Inside?
Yeah. And didn't have, you know, a centralized air system to help it.
All
So
right, so here's the thing: in your house, like, you're going to try to look for ways to mitigate, right? In the cold, you would just pile on layers, and in the heat, I would just cold showers, right?
right. Okay, in that case, let's just say outside. So what you got on, you're not just free to just remove or add more clothing to try to help, you know,
All right.
100
I
degrees
think-
100 degrees outside versus 45 outside.
I think I would deal with the heat, and it depends on the time in which you're dealing with it as well. Because I think I could deal, like, I can adjust to heat better than I can adjust to cold. And here's the thing, like, people that are like no, being too cold is better because you can always put on layers. That is a fallacy. I do not believe there is a limit, right? And your comfort, like, is affected by it greatly. Like, take A Christmas Story. Remember Ralphie's little brother?
Yeah.
Like,
You mean comfort, like, on the level of
yeah,
like the feeling of all that clothing on you.
like this claustrophobic feeling of just being so bound up that you can't even put your arms down. Like, that's
Okay, right quick, I just gotta say, I always thought that, despite that it's President Shinra, I always thought that was kind of badass. He was not scared of Barrett. Granted, Barrett had his hands tied, literally, but the way he just dusts off his clothes, like, if you need anything else, just ask my secretary. Leaving off the words, bitch. Little do you know, sir, that in the next hour, your life will be over. Thanks to a guy with a very, very long sword. And that is not a euphemism. I don't know. I think in a lot of instances, I've preferred the way that the PS1 sprites looked.
the PS1 sprites.
Yeah.
You mean the normal chibi mode?
Yeah.
I mean,
Like here, I don't know. I'm just picturing the way like Tifa's just sort of like lounging in her bed on the PS1, and I don't know. It just looks cuter, for lack of a better term.
I mean, that chibi style is known for being cute. In fact, that's the entire aesthetic.
I also like how Tifa gets up here when she starts listening to the conversation. Oh, so that's what it was about. A date. And man, you know they're trying to like G-rate that.
Yep.
Probably in most cases, it would have been like, hey, be my bodyguard and like kill a bunch of enemies trying to hurt me, so I'll go out with you, not so I'll bang you.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Not that I'm trying to say Eris is a slut, and it's
Well,
okay.
man, what she wants to do with her body is her own
And again-
business.
And again, it is perfectly okay to be sex positive. It's the attitude that matters in the midst of that. If you literally just don't care, and you don't care like whose heart you're breaking, whose home you're wrecking, stuff like that, nah, that's when it's bad. But merely having a positive outlook on sex, that's cool. You and KJ used to make fun of me. You're like, man, SK, you won't like a girl unless she's just like a nun.
Yeah. Yeah, we did say that a lot.
But I think I have evolved. I have tempered my personal standards a little bit.
Good.
Yeah.
Adjusting yourself so
That's why. Now, don't get me wrong. That extreme, like wanting a nun for a woman, I think that would be much better than actually liking like a horrible, hateful person who doesn't care, literally just doesn't care about who she bangs. And the same goes for guys. You know, this ain't a sexist thing. Let me make sure I'm not digging I am digging a hole by talking about it, but nevertheless, I gotta say it. Now that the implication is there. So, now I still think that'd be a better extreme you know, liking a woman that's just like crude, vulgar, like literally doesn't care about anything, that kind of thing. But
well, I'm gonna say that I think that guy or girl has, you know, the right to do with their body whatever the fuck they want. Like, if you're talking about home wrecking, it is not, the impetus is on the married person not to, like, succumb to, like, someone who's more flippant with their body.
Yeah. It's like
Like,
it takes two to tango. It just ain't one person's fault. Like there was one time they actually like complained about the woman they were having. They called it an emotional affair. So like no physical contact. But at the end of his post talking about that, this wasn't in the singles community. This was like elsewhere. There's like a, I don't know, ethics section or something.
Uh-huh.
Why'd I say session? Section.
Area.
And at the end of it, he's like, haha, yeah, she's a real tramp. And I was like, well, you're the one cheating on your wife with her, so what does that make you? And that was the end of it. Like, that was the last post there. And, like, I had a couple of, like, you know, agreement reactions to...
Yeah.
You can, like, rate a post funny or agree with it or just say you like it. You like what they said, so... Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, but the fault ain't... You're the one cheating with her, so you don't really have a right to judge unless you plan on judging yourself too, bro.
That's the thing about home wrecking. Like, it's not... It's something you have to let happen. Like, if you are part of the home being wrecked, like, you can stop it. You don't have to do it.
Well, I felt my phone vibrating. I don't do that often. I don't get calls often, so I hope that was a pretty girl calling me.
No.
Unexpected, and more than likely, though, I think we know who it is.
It was, in fact, a girl.
Probably like, call me immediately, you know, because
Yeah.
I'm panicking over something.
And you better do it quick before we get called into the police as missing.
Like, it got around to Adam somehow. He calls you, he's like, hey, dude, did you know that, like, you and SK have been reported missing? You went, well, holy crap, I better find myself quick. Yeah, all right. You know, I kind of feel sorry for the guard outside. He just gets killed. I mean, we don't know.
Well, I mean, he's not the only one.
I mean, he was probably just an average guy, just, you know,
just
providing
an
for
average guy
providing for his family,
with an average life.
just doing his job.
I work from 9 to 5. He hella paid the price. All I want to do is be alone in my average home.
Is that a Nate Wants to Battle song?
When how I always feel like I'm in the twilight zone and I always feel like...
Is that a yes or a no?
No, that's not a Nate song.
God, I'm not gonna lie, that kind of soured me. Seeing the way Tifa hopped up out of bed. That scene back on the stairs that I
What?
just didn't get before. Hey, you're trying to look up at... Why do we have to do that?
That's just Japan being Japan. Also, I noticed something about Tifa with this model specifically when she was running. From the top down, her hair looks like the profile of a dolphin.
Huh. You know, I think all this time, I felt that way too, but just couldn't quite form the words in my brain.
Like, because her ponytail, like, kind of splits out like a tail. So, yeah, whenever she's, like, running up, like, I think it'll be a little bit more noticeable.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah, I remember. not when I first played, but on my official first all the way game through, because I finally had this game, owned it,
And had a memory card.
and a PS1 and a memory card. So Dad, came into the den when it was still the den and not my room. Came in the den when I was at this part one night, and I'm trying to, I feel like I gotta justify this game, make sure that it's not going to be judged.
Yeah, because when your parents
because adult stuff happens in this game, and I'm still just 12 or 13. You think you could be able to handle it, but you're a child in your parents' house. You gotta live by their rules. So it's like kind of like with the part where I'm like, Dad's like, is that dog like eating that dude? When Red was holding Hojo down, he's like, no. He's just
holding him off.
Yeah. And so then he stuck around for this part too. And I'm like, that's not blood. That's like that spilled Mako juice everywhere. Because
no, that's blood, homie.
Because I was thinking like, I was trying to think like, well, if it's Genova, maybe she like leaks Mako slime everywhere as she crawls around.
Despite the fact we all know that Mako's green.
Is it always actually?
I think any time you see like the live stream or Mako or like any like tubes the holding it, it's always been green.
And it's like it's clearly BS because you're seeing dead bodies everywhere.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Dun 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 dun. Ouch.
Get needled.
I always wonder what's the deal. Like, I have no idea what this is supposed to be. Like, what it means. The name of that weird floaty enemy with 4 arms is called the Vargid Police.
Target.
Like, what is that?
I wonder what's in it. Like, you can see through the window. There's something in there.
Oh, I'm talking about the other enemy, not the weird
right,
floating
right.
tea
Yeah.
kettle thing.
Oh, Tifa's not having a great time.
And Cloud is paralyzed.
Whack. That's not doing super great anymore.
It really isn't. I think we held on to it on purpose because it had more materia slots or something, but let's take another look at that.
Oh.
You think that'd be way bigger damage than a normal attack, which would do around 150, 250 by this time, not 80. Let's see if Iron Bangle, yeah, Carbon Bangle would definitely be better.
4.
Big drop in defense, but with 3 extra materia slots, it's a little more justified. Isn't it?
A little bit.
Well, let's see just for kicks. Fire elemental damage, what that'll do.
Well, probably do a little bit better if you stop stacking on materia that does minus to magic. I'm just messing with you.
I didn't even notice. Is that the blue materia that keeps doing that, or? Yeah.
Yeah. Which,
Okay, I thought you might have been talking about all these greens down here. I was like,
Yeah,
wait,
no,
I thought that was a positive and everything.
Yeah, it is. I'm messing with you. Like, yeah, that's weird that the elemental materia that's supposed to make the materia do more damage is going to do a little bit less than it's supposed to because it innately has minus magic on it.
Ah, just noticed the elevator sound.
Yeah.
Everybody's dead, Dave.
Follow the blood. Follow the blood.
So here's the thing. Was it Genova that killed all these guys? And it was just President Shinra that Sephiroth killed? Because if I'm seeing claw marks on the wall, like, how did Sephiroth make that?
Maybe it was 3 quick consecutive slashes from Masamune.
To the head, to the midsection, then to the feet?
Yeah, just real quick. Cha-cha-cha.
Well, shouldn't everybody be in pieces if it went all the way into the wall as a mark?
I mean, they didn't make models for people being into pieces.
I know,
dude.
but I'm just saying, is that how we're supposed to see it? All these corpses, are they actually, like, chopped up in bits? I like the way those guys kind of like furl up and die. Yeah, huh.
Get sensed. Ice and holy.
I always thought that was a funny name too, the Piazzo Shower.
Do you have enemy material on somebody?
Yeah. Tifa. Alright, I need to remember to look at that when we get out of battle.
Uh-oh, he's got... Oh, that was Gehenna. Oh, nice. Oh. Sometimes it do be that way.
Hey, at least it's not slots on literally everything that you
Yeah.
do in battle.
Look, Crisis Core, it was made so much more bearable in Reunion Edition. Like, they made it so you could, like, bank one limit and one summon and, like, cast them when you want. So, yeah, everything else is still, like, based on the stupid slots, but at least it's not
Did
like...
you mean to say it that way? Based?
based. No, I didn't. But at least, like, you know, you're not going to be casting, you know, Ifrit on bombs and just healing them up and then they explode on you.
That's some nonsense right there.
And it's possible in the original,
Might
but
I say.
not possible in, like, it's completely avoidable in...
You know, I was just thinking, if this were a choose-your-own-adventure book, which do you think would be the best, the best direction to take upstairs? You're going to the same room, but there might be danger on the staircase with the blood all over it. Do you go left, or do you go right?
To go left, turn to page 69. Sorry.
And you end up with a game over.
Game over, yeah. Oh, you can actually see the sword.
You can see it in...
It's like a collection of 4 pixels.
I just now realized Rufus is already hanging out up there in the helicopter.
Yep, there is.
Probably trying to...
Probably like rubbing his hands evilly. Yes.
Daddy's dead.
Thank you, Sephiroth.
Okay, I don't think this, global corporation,
Look at Palmer.
probably trillions of dollars.
You see Palmer over there?
Yeah. But Barrett's like, hey, the head guy died, so this whole entire empire is just going to immediately crumble. Palmer looks a lot smaller than them right there. I'm sure Cloud and Barrett would be taller, but not that much taller.
Is it because like he's still using the chibi models and they're using battle models? Or is that his battle model? I can't tell.
I don't think his chibi model was quite this detailed in the
Yeah.
original. What I like is that Barrett actually is like, oh, so he's a good guy. You mean the guy that just went like on a mass slaughter, killed everybody in the building?
I mean, how much would have changed if Sephiroth stuck around and also killed Rufus? Like, that would have drastically changed the flow of the game. Like, all Shinras died.
Palmer's like, I like the way Palmer like glides out of their arms.
Or do you think someone would try to take over, like, Heidegger?
Heidegger, definitely.
Yeah. Or Scarlet. Actually, I think Scarlet would probably try to step in. They would both fight for it, but I don't know.
Ew. Were they an item, by the way?
No, I do not think... I think just the idea would insult Scarlet greatly.
God, that was so cold. Like, it made me hate her even more, like, as a villain, when that scene in Remake where she just calmly walks out of the room, leaves everybody in there to die a horrible explodey death. She goes, clean up the mess, will you? I'm like, wow, that is cold, bitch. That's awful. I always liked Rufus's twirl back his hair a little bit gesture. always wondered, why does he like just get up in the faces of the girls in the party when he does this?
Because because you know what he's doing with his mind.
Oh, I forgot. He does kind of look at Barrett too.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe
Barrett too.
maybe his bread is buttered on both sides. That's cool.
Like as he walks away, he gives Barrett the silent call me hand gesture.
I'm picturing that so well. Okay, I gotta see how they do this pose with these graphics, because in the PS1 I always thought it looked oddly girlish, and especially on Cloud, who's trying to be all cool and badass, where he's like, this is the real crisis for the planet.
No,
Yeah, still does
looks bad.
Still does pretty much the same thing. All right.